You're listening to Mindset, Metabolism, and Movement, where we help you achieve a realistic and human approach to health and fitness by working with your body, not against it. My name is Jenna Altman, and my mission is to help you, the active woman, feel confident in your ability to make choices that allow you to take control of your own mental and physical health. In today's episode, we're going to dive into 5 fitness myths that I used to believe and why they're not accurate. And really, not everything that allegedly was deemed as healthy is actually healthy anymore. And it's all about finding what works best for you. I have a feeling you might have heard some of these things in your past. No pain, no gain. Eat less, move more. Changing up things in your workout. Low calorie is healthy. And I get it. Trust me. They sound like they would work. They sound like they will be helpful in terms of success in your health and fitness. But really, we're going to dive into why you shouldn't be going all out in every single workout, why you should actually repeat the same workouts for 4 weeks at a time, why low calorie is not necessarily healthy, and why losing the last 5 pounds won't actually bring you happiness. Let's dive in. I am not going to sugarcoat today's episode because I have been wrong about a lot of things in my health and fitness journey. And I am not afraid to admit that, because I think that not only does that show that it is this constant evolving journey for all of us, but it also shows you that I am human. And even though I'm a coach, I make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I continue to make mistakes, and I'm going to continue to make mistakes down the road as well. But this is all trial and error. This whole process is about learning what works best for you. And so I'm going to walk you through the 5 top fitness myths that I believed once upon a time, and some other strategies and approaches that we can use instead that kind of debunk these myths and will allow you to start to really make choices that feel good to you, which is obviously the point of this podcast, and showing you how you can really start to feel good about your own health and fitness journey. So the first one we're going to start with is no pain, no gain. And I'm sure that you have all heard this. I don't know if this was a slogan that was coined in like the 90s, the early 2000s. I'm not sure when it came about, but I absolutely remember seeing people like with shirts that said no pain, no gain. Like that's what I remember. Or I think even when I played sports, I remember there was a shirt like go big or go home, right? That was another popular thing. And those two things I kind of use interchangeably. But really the problem is we should not be going all out every workout. It's not safe for our bodies. We should also be taking rest days, not working out 6 to 7 days a week. That's also not great for our bodies. And a couple other things that we use to identify like what actually is a good workout is things like people will usually look like, am I sweating? Am I feeling sore, right? Those are not good indicators that we can use to identify if the workout is actually productive. And so instead of aiming for that no pain, no gain, instead of aiming for that all out effort, I want you to shoot for 70 to 80% of your max effort. And this is going to allow you to challenge your body while also keeping things in perspective and making sure that you are keeping your body safe. Another thing that we want to evaluate is what actually is a good workout. If it's not sweating, if it's not soreness, if it's not constantly out of breath, then what does it look like to go through a good workout? And so I actually have a podcast episode on this, number 27. It's 8 indicators of a good workout. But to summarize a couple of them here, number 1 is enjoyment, right? Like you should be enjoying the workouts that you're doing. Number 2, it should be something that you're able to be consistent with. Number 3, it should be something that you see things are getting easier over time, and then you can start to progress with either more weight, reps, tempo, etc. So instead of approaching things from the no pain, no gain approach, I have learned to give a valiant effort, put effort in, but it's not 110% effort. I also incorporate rest days, at least 2 to 3 a week, and use those indicators to identify if my workout was actually a good workout. Number 2, changing things up. So I remember this was such a big thing, and it's even something that I still see on a lot of gyms that primarily focus on like a high intensity interval training, is like constantly change up and confuse the body with your workouts. So we feel like we need to do all these different exercises and constantly be switching things up and never be repeating the same exercises. And for one, as humans, we enjoy that. We like variety. That is one of our like core components, is like actually incorporating changes and things that keep things interesting, the novelty, the fun of that. absolutely has a merit. But if you're actually looking to make progress and to start building muscle, which is what you need if you're looking to achieve a lean physique, you need to start utilizing similar exercises over time and progressing them throughout a program. And so this is where the concept of progressive overload comes into play. And so this is where you can, again, repeat similar workouts or the same workouts or at least the main lifts for 4 weeks at a time as a minimum. And then from there, each week you're trying to progress or see if the load gets easier. So utilizing that concept is going to be really beneficial, again, for building muscle. And then also just repeated movement is going to be good for the body in terms of starting to like move well. You're going to learn the more times that you do a squat, how to do a squat better. So it also gets you that sort of practice component and improvement in the actual movement pattern itself. Number 3, eating low calorie is healthy. Oh boy, did I believe this one for so long. So if you've been under eating, and when I say under eating, I'm speaking to those who are eating about 1,200 to 1,600 calories or less. And so this is for you if you fall in that category, and it might be intentional or unintentional. Maybe you don't know how much you're eating. But if you eat a lot of low calorie things because you think that that's healthy, then you're most likely not eating enough. And what happens in that realm of things is that we go through what's called metabolic adaptation. So your body is really smart. It adapts to that new caloric intake, which might be lower than you would like, or than maybe your body needs. And therefore, it makes it really hard to lose weight because there's no room for us to go any lower because your calories are already pretty low. And so this can lead to, and this is what happened to me, I went through amenorrhea, which is where I lost my cycle for a few years. It also leads to hormone dysfunction. You can get other complications, gut issues, things like that. And a lot of these low calorie products are actually made with filler ingredients that aren't even good for us anyway. And so this is just adding additional stress on the body that's actually pretty avoidable. So instead of approaching things from this eating low calorie is healthy, I want you to start thinking about how you can eat enough for your body in order to actually feel good and be legitimately healthy. For example, avocados are a high calorie fruit. It's actually a fruit, and they're very high in fats, but it's a good fat. It's a healthy fat. Your body needs those nutrients, right? It's not like they have low calorie avocados or anything like that. But I know that for me, I used to eat a lot of foods that were low calorie bread, low calorie wraps, right? And it was a lot of things that were associated with carbohydrates. 100-calorie packs, right? Like all those things. Ugh, I'm like hyperventilating it over here over all these things that we used to do. But anyways, if you are still struggling with this and thinking that eating low calorie is going to be healthy for your body, it is not necessarily the case. Okay. If you are someone who is trying to do more of a body recomposition, which is where you're not trying to lose more than like 10 to 15 pounds and you're really trying to lean out, and you are already working really hard in the gym, and you are wondering why you're not making progress, it's most likely because you're not eating enough. So when we eat enough, that's going to improve our biofeedback, which is the way that our body is responding to us. So that'll improve our energy, digestion, hunger, hormone health, all of the things, right, into a better place, which is going to make for a better functioning body. All right, guys, number 4, exercise is my therapy. I absolutely believe this. And to be honest with you, I used to always say to myself, hey, it could be worse. I could be addicted to something that's not healthy for your body. But exercise and using it as a form of therapy can be extremely unhealthy. And I know that that sounds counterintuitive and it sounds like, yeah, but the more we move, the better that is for our bodies. But that's not actually the case. Again, exercise itself is a stressor on the body. So now we're adding additional stress on top of the stress that we already have in that big stress bucket of ours. So if we can scale back our workouts and not rely on them, because guess what? You're going to have times where you cannot work out due to injury or schedule changes, or you have a baby, right? There are going to be situations where exercise is going to have to take a back seat. And so I want you to have something that you can actually come back to that does just fill up your cup that's not related to movement, right? Of course, we can use it for that. Of course, that's exactly why I started working out in the first place. And it's still why I still work out to this day. But I also complement that work that I do in the gym with actual therapy. Exercise is not going to solve the issues that need to be resolved through therapy. I know that sounds like a lot to unpack. If that like hits you in the gut, that probably means that you need some therapy. And there's nothing wrong with that. I almost recommend every client of mine, or even consults that I have, I tell people like, hey, make sure that you are going to therapy. It is so important and crucial for your overall well-being. All right, number 5. This one was something that I also believed for a very long period of time. If I lose the last 5 pounds, then I'll be happy. Let's just start with this. There is and there should not be any destination in your health and fitness journey. This is a journey. This is something that you are on for life. It's not like we just work on our health and fitness one time, we hit our goals, and then we don't have to pay attention to anything. We don't have to pay attention to the foods that we're putting in our body. We don't have to work out anymore. Like, that's not how it works. There is no actual destination that we are trying to reach. So if you go in with this conditional sort of happiness, if I lose the last 5 pounds, then I'll be happy. Guess what? You will never be happy. Because at 106 pounds, which is as small as my body could ever possibly be in the most unhealthy way possible, I still was not happy. I hated my body. I was extremely unhealthy mentally. I had a terrible relationship with food, and it was something that I thought about all the time, and it just wasn't worth it. It's never worth that sacrifice. And you might have to experience that to understand what I'm saying, and I understand that. But I'm sure that you might be listening to this being like, yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense. It's not worth the sacrifice, right? Sure, I can go into a diet tomorrow and take away all my favorite foods and not go out with friends, not enjoy life, and just like solely focus on weight loss. And that's fine if that's something that you choose to do. But for me, it's just not worth it. It's not worth that sacrifice for 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever it is. And especially if you're already in a healthy weight, then it doesn't matter. Like, don't get caught up in this feeling of like, I will be happy when this happens, right? How can we create happiness with where we are at now? What can we love about our body the way that it is now? And when we can operate from that place, it's going to make health and fitness so much more enjoyable for you. If you found this episode helpful, I want to invite you into an exciting opportunity that we have at Harvest Coaching. If you've been living off of 1,200 to 1,600 calories or less because you thought that's what you needed to lose weight, if you consider yourself a healthy eater but aren't sure if you're eating enough or the right foods for your body, if you want to learn how to work with your body and not against it, if you want to improve your relationship with food and incorporate foods you love without feeling guilty, then our signature one-on-one coaching program, M3, Mindset, Metabolism, and Movement, is for you. This is a fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle program that's designed to help you let go of all or nothing thinking, optimize your metabolic health, and gain more confidence. This program is right for you if your workouts leave you feeling drained, you're tired of wasting mental headspace thinking about food, and are overwhelmed by the abundance of contradicting advice. And you finally want to feel more confident in your body and the choices that you make in regards to your health and fitness. Then now is the time to apply to our signature M3 one-on-one coaching program. This is a no strings attached process, and all you have to do is apply. Even if you decide that it's not a good fit for you after our call, there will be no hard feelings at all. You'll at least get some guidance on what you can be working on from your health and fitness professional bestie. To celebrate all of this goodness, now through November 5th, we're offering you 1 free month of nutrition coaching with the purchase of a coaching package so you can get started on your 2023 goals today. But act fast because there are only 8 spots available. The link to apply is in the show notes.